Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson, and you're listening to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. So here's the real mystery. How do real MLMers like us, who didn't cheat and only bug family members and friends, who want to grow a profitable home business, how do we recruit A players into our downlines and create extra incomes, yet still have plenty of time for the rest of our lives? That's the blaring question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. What's up, guys? Hey, first off, I'm so sorry that I have not podcasted here in a little while. It has been so busy, which honestly is kind of just my life in general. So I should say instead that everything's normal, everything's great, because that's how it always is. I'm sure yours is the same. So, hey, so what I've been doing is we have a ton of people who've been coming in and joining Secret MLM Hacks. It's been a lot of fun, actually. Last month we had 80 people come on in, which is great. Welcome. Glad to have you guys. Very, very fun. And I've been going through and just deep diving on the training, and it's been a whole lot of fun. I mean, really enjoyed it. It takes a lot of work to do the kind of training that I do with it, though. I mean, a ton of work, and I really enjoy it, though. I mean, it's fun. I wake up smiling. I'm excited to do the kinds of things that I get to do, and I feel very fortunate for that. Hey, there's a principle, though, that I wanted to just walk through and share with you guys, though, and it's a principle that I believe if you master it, which honestly isn't hard. There's some really easy ways to do it, and then there's more advanced ways to do it. But if you just master this one talent, this one skill, a lot of things get a lot easier for you, both in the MLM space, in the business space, even in the personal space, relationship-wise. You can be used in certain aspects. It can be applied in a lot of different areas, and I really love it. And I honestly, for a while, I was kind of, I don't know. I was hoping that this was not actually like as real as it actually is. For a while, I was hoping like, no, there's no way. And it goes down to this, okay? There's a kind of a principle that sets up this principle, okay? And it kind of goes like this, okay? Most people in life are not ambitious. Okay, they're not. If you're listening to this podcast right now, I can guarantee you that you're one of the ambitious people in life, right? When I was in classes, I was in college and I was going around, I was in my business classes, I would what I would do is I'd wake up at 7, I'd run the classes, be there at 7:45, and by 10 o'clock, my first round of classes was over. I would go get as much homework done as I possibly could in those morning few hours, and then literally the entire afternoon, I would just be building my own businesses. And I did that all of college, pretty much all of college. And what shocked me, which blew me away, was that even when I was in my entrepreneurial classes, right? And we go through it in my marketing classes, my business classes, that's what my major was, right? I was still one of the only students who was actually doing business, who was actually selling stuff, who was actually doing the things that we were learning and could actually have deep conversations with the professors because I was actually doing it. And it shocked me to death. And I did not understand why that was. Why is that? Why is that I could not actually find other people who were willing to do the stuff they were learning about? I was like, how do you guys expect to be making it? Like, if you're really going to put all of your learning into the hands of somebody else, like, that's a little bit freaky. Like, you can jumpstart, you can find great mentors, you can find good courses and classes, you can find great books out there, learn the best from the best, right? Learn those things, right? And which is great, but oh my gosh, like, and so I would get in somewhat of fights with a lot of different students. Not fights, but I would kind of tell them off a little bit and be like, get real. Holy crap. Like, what? Are you serious? And it was something that frustrated me for a long time until I was reading this book. And in this book, it was describing how most people on the planet are not ambitious. They're not. People are not. Most people in life are not ambitious. But to you and me, entrepreneurs of the world, we think everyone's like us. And I thought that for a long time, and that's not true, okay? If you're an entrepreneur and you're out there doing stuff, like, there's only like 2% of the population. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's really small. The ambitious side of humanity, right? And I'm not calling the others lazy. I'm not making fun of them. But it's just the reality, right? That a lot of other people in life, all they're looking for, they want to come home, they want to do their 9 to 5, and they are totally fine doing the exact same thing every day. I am not that way. I bet and I guess you are not that way listening to this right now. And I had to come to grips with that for a while, which is the reason why you can't just go recruit friends and family, because most of the time they are not like you, right? They are not like me. I didn't, as far as like, you know, I've got some sickening work ethic. You know what I mean? I'm a workaholic. I get it. I love it. It's super fun. I really, really enjoy it. And I understand that I'm a bit extreme about it. And for me to hold other people to the same level of fanaticism is not a good thing to do at all. And there are fanatics in other areas that I'm not. And we're all different, which is great, okay? But in this area of business, in this area of progression, in this area of entrepreneurship, not that many people are actually aggressive individuals. Not that many people are progressive. Not that people are ambitious, right? And that's something that, like I was saying, it's the whole reason why I built what I do. It's the reason that I do what I do, is I attract to me individuals who are go-getters so that we can have a fun team full of go-getters, rather than recruiting as many people as I possibly can to just find the 1 or 2 people who are actually going to be the real producers and real builders. To me, that sucks. That's stupid. Are you kidding? I don't want to do that. And I'm just going to go collect a fee on these other people who aren't going to do anything anyway. Like, I don't totally feel right about that. Like, if I know someone's not going to do anything, I say no to them, right? I'm not gonna recruit them. I don't want them in. Okay. And anyway, so that's kind of the first premise, the first principle. Okay, most people in life are not ambitious, and when you as an entrepreneur are failing, a lot of time it's because when you are selling like an entrepreneur wants to be sold, instead of selling like someone who just wants a little bit better than they currently have wants to be sold. Does that make sense? Someone who's not as aggressive or ambitious, someone who's not an entrepreneur. You remember when you weren't an entrepreneur? You remember how boring that was? Remember that? Everything's black and white, probably. You don't even remember. Everything's in color now that you're an entrepreneur. Okay, but it's true though, okay? One of the issues why sales is so rough sometimes on an MLMer is because they're going around and they're taking a message that is meant for someone who's a little bit more ambitious in life, and they're telling it to people who are not actually that ambitious, and they're totally fine. They're like, I really don't want this. So what you have to do is you have to convince them, and you have to go through tons of people, and you have to go, I hate that game, okay? I hate that game. See, most entrepreneurs, what they are is they're pleasure seekers, right? We all seek pleasure, meaning I would love to go own a second house on a beach somewhere someday. That motivates me, right? But for a lot of people, the only thing that motivates them is just getting away from their job. They're running from pain, right? So you're either selling towards pleasure or you're running away from pain, right? And most entrepreneurs, the ambitious people of life, are ambitious towards pleasure, towards things that they want, towards things that they're their goals, right? However, most MLMers who've been brought in and were not ambitious, they are just trying to seek relief from pain, right? And you got to make sure that whatever message is that you're sending, that you're going out there and you're saying, hey, here's my thing, whatever it is that you're selling, whether it's the downline or your product, you got to make sure you're matching it to the audience, right? So what I've been doing in this web class that I've been running, and I just said we got those 80 people that came in. What I've been doing is I've been going back through and making sure that I'm speaking to both audiences, because I know that there's some people who are ambitious already, and then there's some people who are not as ambitious, but they're trying to learn to become so. And that's great. I want to make sure that I speak to those individuals, okay? And so I'll say phrases like, hey, imagine being able to pay your house off in 3 years instead of 30 years, right? And that's a real thing. I'm on track to do that, right now, which is awesome. 3 years instead of 30 years. That's incredible, right? But that's the for pleasure people, right? That's the ambitious people. Those are the people who are true entrepreneurs, are the people who have learned it, who've practiced it, who get it, okay? But I also need to speak for the people who are trying to get away from pain. Sorry, my computer, just a little notification there, right? People away from pain. So I'm just say, imagine what it'd be like to just get away from your boss. Imagine just to have your life expenses covered right now, or be able to get an extra couple $100s every month to pay some bills, right? That's pretty low. I always say a couple grand, because anyway, it's got to be at least a couple grand for me to really bat an eye at it, Anyway, so I that's all I'm trying to say, is that with these messages and the things that you're out there doing, make sure that what you're doing is that you're selling in a way that matches the listener, right? Is this an individual who is motivated by pleasure or motivated by the escape of pain, right? And when you start looking at it that way, the game can be a lot easier, right? And so what I do is, as an actual filter, I use that as an actual filter, meaning if an individual is motivated by pleasure, I want them in my downline. If they are not, I'm a little bit more slow to let them in my downline, okay? They still go through the same application process. By the way, thank you for all those of you guys who are applying. That's very nice of you. I'm not pitching you ever in this podcast. I'm not ever asking you to go and join. And that's the reason why. Is I'm just keeping it I don't know. I just wanted to share with some of you guys some of the things that I do and why it works. I know this is why it works, okay? And anyway, so figure out, is this person a person who gets motivated by pleasure or pain, and then match the message to that individual. And by doing that, you actually will that filter. I mean, it depends what you want. If you're trying to find the individual who is more trying to escape pain, you're going to match your message to that. I will ask you, I will motivate you to not recruit that kind of individual, okay? Typically, and I'm going to be careful as I say this, okay? I'm a respecter of all individuals. I'm a respecter of all people. However, that kind of person who is motivated by the escape of pain typically turns into a project, okay? And I have enough projects in my business. I don't need a person as my project, okay? And understand, as I say that, okay, I'm trying to be sensitive. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. But I mean, let's be real here, right? Not all people are the same, and for that reason, not all people have the same goals. Not all people want to make the same amount of money. Not all people have the same lifestyle, right? So why should I act like everyone should be a good fit in my downline? They're not going to be, right? So my systems are amazing because they pull to me the people who would be good, right? And then I just have prepackaged things for them that I hand them when they join. I'm like, here you go. Done. Go press that button, turn it on, and you'll get some leads coming to you, right? Here's how to run it, right? That's which is awesome. But I make sure that my message is a match for the market that I want, right? Message to market match, right? And what that's doing is I'm trying to find the people who are motivated by pleasure, who are go-getters, who are ambitious individuals. And anyway, so I actually was not planning to go in deeply as I did on this one. But anyway, just wanted to drop that out to you guys. And first of all, I'll let you know that I'm alive. Second of all, know and see what I'm starting to see when I'm trying to work on, which is I'm trying to make sure that I'm speaking to both, but I'm recruiting really only from one. And anyway, so that's been it. Hey guys, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Hopefully things have been going well for you. I got some cool surprises coming up for you in this audience here sometime in the future. We got a cool secret project going on here, and I'm very excited for it. So stay tuned, and you guys will find out about it very soon, because I think you guys actually really enjoy it. It's pretty insane value. So, all right, guys, talk to you later. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Would you like me to teach your own downline 5 simple MLM recruiting tips for free? If so, go download your free MLM Masters Pack by subscribing to this podcast at secretmlmhacksradio.com.